Will. This is Will from nextlevelguitar.com. David's behind the camera.
David's behind the camera, San Diego, California.
And Sammy's sleeping on the floor, keeping us company. Today we're going to mix it up. Instead of showing you guitar, I brought one of my vintage amps over. We have a 60s, late 60s, tuck and roll silver sparkle custom amp. It's a transistor amp made in Chanute, Kansas in the late 60s. It's a combo. It's a 410, 100 watts, very loud. And we're going to show you some of the features and go through some of the sounds of this amp. This amp is all transistor. It's a solid state amp, no tubes. It's one of the earlier amps to be all solid state. I know solid state's probably an evil word for a lot of people, but they're actually very cool, and you can get some unique sounds with it. Custom's making a big comeback now with new product, but their vintage stuff is known for nice, squishy, soft tuck and roll. That's what happens when you mix hot rods and music together. This one is silver sparkle. They had a lot of other different colors: blue, gold, champagne. I think there was white and a lot of black ones. This vinyl holds up pretty well as long as you keep it away from cigarettes, and it just melts and makes a huge mess. Custom made all sorts of different size amps, heads and cabinets, and combos, PA systems, all with this lovely tuck and roll on it. In the late 90s, they reissued some small practice amps that are tuck and roll, and I just happen to have one right here, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I'm going to take you through the controls of the amp. First, we have the inputs, high and low. That's a different, it's kind of a tone filter. The high is a lot brighter. We have volume, treble. It has a pull for bright. Bass. We have speed and intensity for the tremolo vibrato. We have, in the middle here, we have a nice purple pilot jewel. This is the rotary switch for the trem vibrato. We have the reverb. And then we have another channel over here. We have bass, treble, and volume for this channel, and then again the high and low inputs. I have the foot switch for this amp, which allows you to switch on the reverb and the vibrato. The amp has two channels. You have your effect channel, which is all your knobs from here to about here, and then you have a second clean channel on this side. The reason to have two different channels, I guess you could have an effect set up on one and use a foot switch to switch between the two, or even if you had somebody playing with you that didn't have an amp, they could plug into the other and have their own volume section. This is for channel 2. We got the volume and the treble and the bass, and then everything else is for channel 1. Here's a tight shot of the covering of the amp. You can see it's squishy. There must be some foam over there. It's held up really well. It's a good 40 years old. You can see the silver sparkle. You can see the nice way the corners put together. They put some effort into putting this together. Of course, these are American made in Kansas. We got the handle here. It's a kind of a neat detail for custom. Here's the back of the amp. You can see it's ported. Of course, it's a combo amp with 410s. You can see the silver sparkle tuck and roll. You can see we have the very long extension cord. I don't know how long this thing must be, 12 feet long. We have the on and off switch. We have a jack for an extension speaker. We have our foot switch jack. And then we have the manufacturer's plate, which says Custom Chanute, Kansas. It has the model K100 and a serial number. For contrast, I wanted to show you a reissue amp that I bought in the late 90s. It's made in China, but it still has some of the same features that you would expect from a custom amp. You got the nice charcoal sparkle tuck and roll, nice and squishy. Get the traditional custom handle up here. Not really a great sounding amp, but pretty neat to have sitting around. For controls, we have a button here that says harmonic clipper that adds distortion. We've got an input. We've got the clipper volume, which adjusts your distortion level. We've got a boost, a master volume, a headphone jack, and the Pilot Light, which is kind of a bluey, purpley, kind of similar to the original custom amp. This is a solid state amp made in China. It was a reissue. It has one 6-inch speaker. For this module, I'm playing through a mid-90s American-made Paul Reed Smith that I stole from David's ample collection. We're running straight from the guitar right into the amp, no effects in between. Let me take you through some of the sounds of this amp. Great reverb this amp has. Nice deep reverb. I'm going to play a little bit through the neck pickup now. Check out this effect. I'm going to add a little tremolo vibrato. Okay, I've turned the vibrato off. I'm just going to play a little bit. You can hear the amp has a nice warm sound that you wouldn't really expect, or what you wouldn't think from a transistor amp. Thanks for joining us. This is Will from nextlevelguitar.com. If you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the yellow button up there in the right-hand corner. And also be sure to check out the website, nextlevelguitar.com. There's lots of great lessons there, and you can bump up your playing. And thanks a lot for joining us. We're going to have a lot more vintage amps, vintage guitars coming soon.